Hi everybody, this is Jacob Alanzadeh, Senior Vice President with Medicare Products. Wanted to go ahead and do a recording on our brand new compensation plan. We're pretty excited about this plan. As many of you probably know, we've got a lot of feedback from distributors indicating that they wanted an additional bonus or additional way in which they could increase bonuses and compensation. So we went ahead and developed this. Now, as a note right before we get started into this, should you decide to continue selling the products the way that you have in the past, meaning you purchase it from us, and then sell it directly to the end user without any kind of distributorship or recruiting taking place, that's perfectly fine. What we've set up here is actually a way for distributors, if they want to recruit other distributors and develop that business, a way for them to do so while generating additional residual for them. So what we've done here is created the ability for you to get paid on 4 different tiers. Now, I will mention right now that this is not a multi-level marketing structure. This is based on manufacturing sort of distributorship that takes place where you have, for example, a warehouse. The warehouse will then have or distribute their products to agents. The agents will then distribute the products to additional warehousing, who then has their agents eventually sell it to the retail store, and then it goes to the end user, of course. So we've done it that way, and really think we've put something together that is very able to allow anybody the ability to really grow their business. So once again, you can grow your business up to 4 tiers, and of course there's different residual percentages based on each tier. Now, just like anything else, as you know, there's going to be requirements that take place. Before I dive into this, though, I just want to make a note. We've done, for example purposes here, is made an assumption that you're able to recruit at least 4 distributors, and then from there, each distributor then recruits an additional 4 from there. In reality, though, with this plan, this can be as wide or as narrow as you choose. So this number doesn't have to represent 4. It can represent 1, 2, 10, 20, etc. We've just set it up this way for this particular example. So on the first tier right here, as you see, let's assume that you have 4 distributors that you've recruited. You can actually gain 10% on all purchases that they make within a given month. Now, as I mentioned, there are some requirements to do so. So right here, MPP stands for minimum personal purchase for that month, and MGP stands for minimum group purchase for that month. So in order to qualify for the percentage or the bonus percentage for that first tier, on a personal level, you have to purchase at least $400 of product from Medipure for that month, and the group in its entirety has to purchase $1,000. Now, it's important to note here that you're not, or the members in your first tier aren't required to purchase a minimum in order for you to get this 10%. What's required is for them as a total to purchase $1,000. So if we have 4 distributors here, all that means is that as a whole, they have to have $1,000. So whether that be one distributor that purchased $1,000 for that month, or all 4 of them purchase $250 apiece, that will be just fine and will qualify you for the 10% in as much as you've purchased your minimum personal purchase for that month of $400. This that I just mentioned about the MGP holds true for all the tiers as well. So in that first tier, as I mentioned, you can get 10% of that group's purchase if these 2 requirements are met. In tier 2, the personal purchase minimum is $500, and the minimum group purchase is $2,000, which qualifies you for 8%. In tier 3, the minimum personal purchase is $600, the minimum group purchase is $4,000, and 6% is the residual. On the last and final tier, $700 is the minimum personal purchase, and $8,000 is the minimum group purchase for a 5% residual on that tier. So as I mentioned, we went ahead and made the assumption that each distributor could recruit 4 distributors. So by the time you get down to this 4th tier, under that assumption, you have a total of 340 distributors underneath you. Now let's go ahead and just see what happens with this particular model and what the potential compensation or bonus can be. So if we go down here, to the left you'll see an example of minimum bonus per level. So assuming that just the minimums were met up here with these percentages taking place, Okay, if you're able to develop all 4 tiers, you actually can get a total of $900 for that month. Now that's not too bad considering that when you get down to, for example, the 4th tier, the minimum group purchase is $8,000 for 256 distributors. Now when you do the math on that, it's a very, very small number. I believe it comes down to a little less than $30 per distributor in order to meet that minimum group purchase. Now, obviously, that 9 times out of 10, that's not going to be what happens, but just goes to show the flexibility of the plan. Really, when we created this, we wanted to make sure this was feasible for you as distributors, and we want the focus to really be on empowering you to be able to nurture and grow your distributorship channels through this plan. Now, if we jump back here, let's go ahead and assume that all distributors, okay, so all distributors underneath you, purchase their minimum order. So they all purchase this monthly personal or minimum personal purchase right here. Okay, following that, with this example, under Tier 1 you get 160 as a bonus, Tier 2 640, then on to 2304, 8960 for a total of $12,064. That's quite a bit of change when you do the math. And really the incredible thing here is that the way that we've designed it is that this is doable with only 340 distributors underneath you. Now, not to demean multi-level in any way, but if you were to try to make this amount of money in monthly bonuses or residual under a multi-level marketing payment structure, you have to be on the thousands of distributors underneath you. You take that also with the note that, you know, really to get to this amount under an MLM structure, you typically have to be one of the first individuals or distributors that come on board when the opportunity presents itself. It's very difficult to make a decent amount of money if you come on board once the company is very well established and has, you know, hundreds or thousands of generations already you know, in their structure. With the way that we've set up our distributorship compensation plan, it doesn't matter if you come on board, you know, when the company first started. It doesn't matter if you come on board 5 years from now. It doesn't matter if you come on board 20 years from now. Everybody has the ability to go ahead and realistically make this if you go ahead and develop and nurture your different tiers. So we are very, very excited about this. We know this is going to bring a lot more success and definitely give you all the flexibility to build your business if you want to do so. If you have any questions or anything was unclear, please feel free to email them directly to me. My email is jacob@metapureproducts.com. Once again, that's jacob@metapureproducts.com. We're more than happy to field any questions that you might have. And thank you, and have a great day.